This is the C major chord. As you can see, the shape of this chord is a diagonal. It cuts across the fretboard diagonally. All chords are shapes. First things first, I'm going to show you the order to put your fingers in, because what you want to do is program this the same every time. That way it becomes habit, and then that habit sticks, and then you don't have to think about chords. So the first thing we do is we put the first finger in the sweet spot here. This is in the 3 out of 10 position. That's the 5 out of 10 position. That's the 8 out of 10 position that we'd never ever want to use. So this is in the 3 out of 10. This is about how hard you actually have to press. And notice I've already set up my thumb in a rough position. I will shift that. That thumb will move along as I put my fingers in there. Then I put my second finger on. Now if you notice that second finger, you can see that even though I'm holding down the D string at the second fret, the A string, I am grazing the A string with the tip of that finger, because once I stop that string out with the third finger there, anything behind that third finger is useless. So essentially, if that finger there is touching the A string above, that's okay, because that doesn't get played. So it's okay. And that just gives me a little bit more space and a little bit more clearance, so that when it comes to that G string ringing through cleanly, that's going to happen. If I put my finger over here, there's a chance that the fingertip on that middle finger here can just touch that string, and that might be the difference between making that chord sound clean and that chord sounding muffled. So let's just move that back over there. What you want to be looking for is the kinesthetic feedback. That's how it feels when you play this chord. I can feel the A string and the D string there, but I can also, with the tip of my finger, feel the wood of the fretboard underneath. So it's squeezing in between. You'll notice, hopefully, that you can see that my third finger is doing exactly the same thing, because when you play a C chord, you do not play this E string. You don't play that E string at all. You can play it, but that's a different chord. This is this shape here, which is C/G. But in this instance, what we want to do is we're holding down that A string at the third fret. Notice I'm not in the 3 out of 10 spot here. I want to be in the 5 out of 10 spot, which is easier because it means the span isn't as hard. Out of your open chords, C is the hardest one because it spans 3 frets. All the other chords, they only use 2 frets. So this is why people struggle with this one. Now the reason why I want this third finger further back in here is because I want to reserve some space for this pinky here, because I may want to play a C sus4, which this is, and this can change easily to a cheat F. I've done a video on the cheat F, which uses only these 4 fingers. It's a no bar chord version. You don't play the E string here, you don't play the E string here, but you see there's an F, finger up, pinky off, there's a C. It's really economical way to move between those chords. So go pinky on, second finger down. See how easy that is? That's already built in there. So if that third finger is there, then the problem that you're going to have, you can see that I have to move that out of there to get that pinky in, and that's an extra movement that we don't want. The more steps you have in the process, the longer it takes to do it. Noticing the thumb on here, you can see the thumb's riding quite high. Sometimes I may even ride the thumb over the top and muffin top that string there, just to double up on making sure that that is muted, that E string is muted. And that's okay as well. Sometimes if you've got big fingers, then that might be the best way for you. Get that thumb over the top and use it. Be careful not to fret that note out there, because if you fret that note out, you'll put an F sharp into the chord and it will sound awful. We don't want that. But you can see there that the blood is running away from there by that tight grip. It is a tight grip, and I am fully curved round the back of the neck here. But if I pull down here, that relaxes. You can see here in the thumb that there's a gap there. You can see there's a bit of a space. The traditional thumb grip is in the middle of the neck like this. Let's just get this straight. You don't want this curved round type of thumb. That puts tension in this knuckle here, which then travels somewhere else in your body. If you know anything about Alexander technique, then stress or strain in one part of the body might not show itself in that part of the body. It will transfer elsewhere. So we want that thumb, the thumbprint on the back of the neck there. Also worth noting, you don't want to ride your thumb round like this. You lose your center of gravity for your hand. You lose grip. So anywhere from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock is going to be great. You can ride that thumb up if you wish. Down there, that's quite hard if you go low, but somewhere in the middle, 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, but not 9 o'clock. Definitely not this. You have no purchase on the chord at all there. So we have an idea of what it looks like, the C major chord. But what we can also do is build in this process. And this is a silent practice technique. You do not have to do any plugged in, no strumming or anything else like this. And this taps into this thing that I call 5+2 or -2. This is the amount of conscious processes you can have going on at any given time. This is about building it in so that you habitualize this chord change so it becomes something that you never have to think about once you've got it down. And what we want to do is we want to put in this way of playing the C chord so that it is the same, it's uniform every time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fingers off. And when I take my fingers off, there's a sense of, I'm nowhere, I've lost my chord. And as a beginner, you'll feel that gap in between changing chords. What we want to do is we want to get this, put that first finger on there. You want to check it visually. You want to make sure it feels familiar. You don't need to worry about the sound right now. We want to put that second finger on there. That can scudge up to the edge of that fret. That's fine. Remember, using that whole thing of touching the A string and muting it out. And then the same thing with that third finger. Remember to reserve enough space for that to happen there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off again. And I'm going to repeat this. And the thing is, if you repeat it and you repeat it, and you take the hand off, in your brain, when you think to yourself, okay, hand off, you think, okay, this is going to be a C chord. That comes from a certain spot in your brain. And what you need to do is you need to make the brain to muscle connection. There's a lot of kind of thinking about this from a neurological perspective. And this is why we want to take it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on. This is a common thing that sometimes happens with students. They put the finger on the wrong string and then they make the adjustment. Don't do that. Absolutely do not do that. If that's what's happening, start the whole thing again. You need to rebuild the neurological pathway from brain. You evoke the chord by thinking about it. Your brain forms the picture and that informs the muscle movements that you have to make, the sequence that the muscles fire off in. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. So that's finger 1, finger 2, finger 3. Take your time, do it slowly. If you can't see elements of how this chord is going on, then you are going too fast. If it's going wrong, you're going too fast. Simple. Hand off. 1, 2, 3. Keep on doing that. And if you drill this, then you won't have to think about it. Drill it. Keep going. Just do it. Do it for 15 minutes. If you did this for 15 minutes, do you think you're going to know it? Do you think you will? Might be a bit dull, but I tell you what's even more dull, and that is taking years to get this technique correct. The benefits of just drilling things at first is massive.
Hey up guys, if you'd like to support my work on YouTube, then please consider purchasing a copy of my book. The book is a compilation of PDFs from all the aha and lightbulb moment lessons that you can find here on my YouTube channel, but all in one convenient place. It's available in 3 formats: a spiral bound copy, a paperback, but if you prefer an ebook for instant download, then you can grab that by clicking the link in this video or going to rickysguitar.com/store to grab your copy.